99, 100. Sup, bros? So this week I've been playing Gears of War 3, like, obviously, because it's like the greatest game ever made. Oh my god. I've also been doing some curls, you know, working on the pecs and the biceps and yeah. But Gears of War, it's a game, like the greatest game ever, and I bet you want to know my opinion. So anyways, like, here's my opinion of Gears of War 3.
Gears of War 3 is the final installment in the Gears franchise, and it's meant to wrap up the story of, you know, big muscle-bound dudes shooting each other with a nice pretty bow. So here we are, 5 years after the original Gears of War hit the 360, and the question is, does it still pack the same punch? Does it still have the same action? Or is it just kind of like, does it feel stale? Does it feel like a game that's 5 years old? Honestly, it doesn't take very long of playing Gears of War 3 to realize it's pretty much the same game as Gears of War or Gears of War 2. It has the exact same cover mechanic, the exact same shooting, just pretty much all the elements from all the other games. Your character goes from place to place, hides behind cover, shoots a bunch of dudes, then moves on to the next place where he hides behind cover and shoots a bunch of dudes. It's pretty much the if it ain't broke policy, because it worked in the other two Gears of War, so why would they change it? Now obviously that's not to say they didn't add anything to the game, they did. As with any other standard sequel, this game comes with a bunch of new weapons and a couple of dozen new enemies. The most noteworthy is the Lambent, which are, I don't know, mutant guys. So they're kind of like the locusts we already fought, only they explode when you shoot them. I don't know, but, you know, new enemies. One of the big improvements to the campaign mode this time around is the co-op. Gears of War has always had co-op in it, but this time around they went from 2 players to 4. It's not a huge change in the gameplay, it just kinda, you get rid of all your AI guys, so it's just real guys playing with you. And of course when the game splits you off into 2 different paths, you don't get stuck with an AI partner, you get to have a real partner. It's a cool change if you got 3 buddies you want to play with, but it doesn't really, you know, change the essence of Gears of War. In terms of the storytelling of the campaign, it's kind of the same things you would expect. It's big old muscle guys that are always like, "Rah, go over there," and one-liners, and very 90s, you know, action hero kind of stuff. It also takes itself incredibly seriously throughout it, and is never, like, ironic about anything, which is kind of weird, based on just, you know, the design of these huge muscle dudes, but whatever. It's pretty standard story stuff. The stakes are bigger. They've added more characters. They added a character voiced by Claudia Black, who I have a total boner for. Although, honestly, there was one aspect of the voice acting that I found kind of unnerving.
Don't you lay a finger on him.
Oh yeah, you tell him, Marcus Phoenix. Wait a minute. He sounds kind of familiar.
Just because they turn into Lambent doesn't mean it'll work on him.
That's funny. He kind of sounds like...
Did you hear about the goblin who got his left arm and left leg cut off?
Right, it's close quarters down here, so let's split up.
No. No, it can't be.
Wake me up when they start selling hot dogs.
He's gone. He's gone.
Hey, get out of here, horse. I want to go to sleep, and you're creeping me the math out.
We're okay, Dad. Stand by.
Once you find out that the same person does Jake the Dog from Adventure Time and Marcus Phoenix, it's like, you can't unhear it. Every line is like Jake the Dog in Gears of War. It's disturbing. And now I've forced you to live through it, so ha! You know my pain. Apart from the single player, Gears of War has always had a very robust multiplayer mode. Returning is, you know, capture the leader and deathmatch and all that stuff that you would expect, with a nice slight tweak to deathmatch to make it a slightly more interesting, but pretty much it's all the standard stuff. They also brought back Horde mode, which pits you and a couple of other players against AI, you know, bad guys coming at you in waves and waves, progressively more difficult. And they tweaked it a little, so as you progress you get money, which you can use to build defenses and buy new weapons and turrets and all that stuff. They've also added Beast Mode, which is basically Horde mode turned on its head. In Beast Mode, you play as the Locust trying to defeat the humans in your endless wave. You know, you can pick whichever Locust you want to spawn as, and you basically try and destroy their defenses in a bunch of waves. Again, like with the single-player campaign, the multiplayer not that much different from the others. They've added new weapons, new modes and stuff, but it's all the same gameplay, which is not bad.
Honestly, Gears of War 3 is an incredibly fun game. It's incredibly well made. It's incredible. It's everything you want from Gears of War. If you are a Gears of War fan, get it. It's Gears of War 3. It's awesome. If you never liked Gears of War, don't get it because it's Gears of War and it's everything Gears of War has been, only slightly improved. You know, it's a game. It's good. It's Gears of War 2, which is slightly improved, which was just Gears of War 1, which was slightly improved. It's just the next generation of Gears of War. Story-wise, it gets a little kind of like daddy issue-wise, but I mean, it's great. If you love Gears of War, pick it up. If you got a 360, you probably already have it. I don't understand why you even were watching this, but Gears of War.